Incredible navigating skills, but even sometimes they can take a wrong turn, of course.
Of course, that's allowed. One of them, called Bob, was supposed to fly from Guernsey to Gateshead. Instead, he went a little further. He ended up 4,000 miles away in Alabama in the United States. Andrew Hartley has the story.
Hello. What are you doing?
Bob, is that your daddy?
Reunited, the owner and his prize racing pigeon, the bird who made Alabama his sweet home. This is Bob, now a long, long way from Gateshead. How is Bob?
He's very well. Oh, he's doing great. Stopped by a Tractor Supply yesterday and went and got him some feed and some seed and stuff for him, and got him a water dish, and they got a temporary cage for him with a little perch so he can hang out and recover and get some food in him.
The bird's epic trip started in Guernsey, one of the Channel Islands, almost 3 weeks ago. His 400-mile race back to Winlaton was expected to take no more than 10 hours. Instead, the pigeon took a wrong turn, travelling more than 4,000 miles across the Atlantic, landing in the small town of Monroeville, Alabama.
This is where Bob will be back to. This is his box.
Back on Tyneside, Bob's owner is thrilled his bird has been found.
Well, when you seen him yesterday, he looked really, not in a good state, but looking at him today, he looked a lot better just in one day, so they're obviously looking after him very well. Well, I think he's probably jumped on a ship, if the truth's known. He wouldn't have flown that way. Got him, he's covered in oil. Could be in an oil tanker.
It's not uncommon for racing pigeons to go missing, but the sheer distance Bob has travelled has made him the talk of pigeon fanciers around the world. Alan is now planning to fly to the States to bring the 4-year-old bird back home. Andrew Hartley, BBC News.
It is an extraordinary story, isn't it? And we can speak to Alan now, Bob's owner. Alan, good morning.
Good morning, are you okay?
Yeah, we're absolutely fine. And it's a compelling tale, this. How is your bird now? How is Bob?
Well, he's looking a lot better. The girls in America have done a brilliant job. They've obviously pulled him around, because when I seen him on Wednesday, he looked terrible, but he's still not in a good way, but he's a lot better than what he was. He's covered in oil when I seen him on Wednesday, but he's definitely picking up, definitely.
Now, we got a sense from the film we just saw a moment ago of, I think, your best guess as to how Bob got to where he's gone, all that distance. Just take us through how you think he got there.
Well, when we led away from Guernsey, obviously, when he didn't come home, you fear the worst. You think, has he hit something? Has he been bird of prey? But I think what's happened is he possibly could have hit maybe a thunderstorm or something in the channel or something like that. And maybe he's had to drop, and maybe he's found the closest ship, and by the time he's pulled himself round, I think he's been in the middle of the sea and probably didn't want to leave the boat, the ship. And I think he stayed there till probably the dock, and then when the dock, he probably left. But you never know. You honestly don't know what it was, but I think that's what's happened. But I was hoping that, with obviously the way it's gone, that somebody on a ship might have said, "Hey, that's that pigeon I've been looking after." I know the chances of it happening is probably quite slim, but you never know. It would be lovely to find out.
Alan, morning, it's Naga. I mean, did you know you'd always find out where Bob was? No, because generally when pigeons go missing, you don't know whether as I say, they could bump themselves, get injured, they could land in obviously if they land in a man's loft, they might report and you might get them back. But I always had a feeling I would get him back. I always had a feeling, because he, as I say, he's a special pigeon to me. I had the feeling he was alive. It's funny, I don't know how to explain it, but I just had that feeling. I told my mates, I'll get him back. He'll come back. I'll get him reported. Just I had faith in him. What makes Bob so special? I mean, you have other pigeons as well, don't you?
Well, the story behind him is what makes him special. Obviously, he's a good pigeon, which makes a difference. But how I got him, I lost my sister to cancer, which you've just been talking about. I lost her 4 years ago. And I decided to raise some money for Marie Curie because they were fantastic with me sister. And I asked a lot of the good pigeon men in the northeast, which they always do, they always support charities. And they donated pigeons, and we had an auction. And obviously I bought a lad called Bob Donaldson from Chevington Drift, a lovely man. Now, unfortunately, died of cancer about 18 months ago. And I bought he donated the pigeon, and I bought him for £90. Now, when he won the couple of big races, I phoned Bob up and told him I was calling him Bob after him, and he was over the moon, like.
Do you know, that is such a lovely story. Am I right in thinking, do you have one of your birds with you there? I can just... Aha, who's this?
Here he is. This pigeon actually won that race from Guernsey. This pigeon actually won that day.
What's the pigeon's name?
I've called him Ethan after my grandson.
Oh, it's lovely. And is Ethan, like, are they quite tame? Like, when they're not working, how do they behave with you?
Well, it's like everything. The more time you spend with them, the calmer they get. If you can spend a lot of time, you know, the pigeons get to know you. Like Bob, like the girls were saying in America, they were saying when like you heard my voice, you picked up. They do know you.
Can I just ask, Alan, on that theme of your voice, now, watching the film a moment ago, am I right in thinking that you've got a special pigeon voice you put on when you're talking to the pigeons? And if you have, haven't you?
But in a way, you do talk to them, but it was very strange sitting on a laptop talking to a pigeon in America.
Yes,
you cannot prepare for that. So, the lads were taking the mickey out of us last night up the Pigeon Club about saying fancy talking about a pigeon in a laptop, and it was strange. It was so strange, but that's what's made the story so special in a way.
Well, you're right. Brilliant. There's a lot to love, Alan. But can I just ask? Sorry, is it the pigeon in your hand is Ethan? So can I ask it? Can you talk to Ethan for us, just so we get a sense of how you communicate with the pigeon?
He's obviously looking around. He's looking up at his loft because the lofts are at the top of the garden. You know, if I let him go now, he'll fly straight up there.
Oh, you can do that. You can let him go and sit.
I'll let him go in a minute. Yeah, when I'm finished, I'll see you. Let him go.
I'm sorry, Alan. Alan, I've got to ask, right? I know you are the expert, by all means, but you seem to be holding Ethan upside down and by his legs. Is he comfortable?
Oh, yeah. That's the way you hold him.
Oh.
The way you hold the pigeon. You hold the pigeon like that because he fits in your hands. Oh. And it's comfortable. They're quite comfortable. Obviously, I've moved now, so he's moving his legs. But, no, he's quite comfortable.
One quick question. What's Bob's welcome home meal?
Oh, I'll just give him as much as he wants. But what I'd like to say before we go on is that the response from the media and from the general public's been out of this world. Like, I couldn't imagine what's gone on. From all over yesterday, it was absolutely mad. People from Germany, Poland, Ireland, Scotland, America. I actually went on American TV yesterday. From where the pigeon is in Alabama. They've been fantastic. The girls in Monroe County Animal Shelter, they deserve a lot of credit for this. A lot of credit.
Well, I think people appreciate when animals mean something to you, you know, they appreciate that, and they're all precious to us. And thank you for letting us into your world. Can we see Ethan fly off as we say goodbye to you?
Go on then. Go on.
Off he goes. You know, Alan, it's been a joy talking to you. It's a lovely story with a good ending. So
and
hopefully...
good luck with the fundraising as well, because I think that's ongoing, isn't it?
Well, to be honest, there's somebody's actually approached us about paying for us to go, trying to get British Airways to fly me there and bring us back first class. Now, if that happens, that'll be fantastic. But that's America. I reckon in America, it's gone absolutely berserk. The whole of America's been phoning this animal shelter in there on about doing a Just Giving page over in America to send them home, because they're as keen to get them home as what I am to get them home.
Well, I hope that all goes well. Alan, can I just say, I have a picture now of Bob, the pigeon, in first class, and you at the back of the plane. I've got a picture of that. That's
could be. I think the story now is obviously with it going out there about him being there. Like I said last night, everybody in the village where I was drinking him late, and everybody was coming up. You've got to get him home. You've got to get him home. That's all people were saying. People who I've never spoken to in my life were coming up. It's just grabbed everybody. And I'd like to think there's somebody out there who would like to latch onto this. And I think it would do them a lot of good with all the rubbish we've got in the world at the moment and had in the last couple of years. It's such a good story for someone to latch onto. And if a company can get the benefit of the good publicity that this is bringing. Because the pigeon sport's a fantastic sport, misunderstood, I think. And it does a lot for charity. It'd be nice to get somebody to help me get them back.
Well, you've opened our eyes. You've opened our eyes to a different world, and thank you so much, Alan. Thank you very much, Alan Todd, who's the owner of Bob, and they will soon be reunited. Lovely, lovely.
It's a great tale, isn't it? 8:34.